Hey folks, it's Ben from eXplorminate again, and we're back with episode 3. We've got through some of the main kind of what this is, what the hell is this game bit. So now we can start playing a little bit faster. I think most people will probably have watched other instructional videos on this, or the other guys' let's plays. So I don't want to bore people too much with stuff that they've already seen. So now that the AI turns playing out. And if I remember right, there was quite a lot of minor factions in this particular game. Okay, this is just a little summary of what's gone on. It'll tell you here if you've got, if you've been in any battles and if you've lost any people, what you've killed. Okay, so our militia forces hold a parade to show their strength and loyalty. This is a scripted event that happens, and we just get this time of learning thing again. So it's telling us whereabouts. We are entering a time of learning. The effect is you'll get extra research bonus. The current strength of this effect is light. So yeah, we get this kind of curve. We're on the up. We're on the up at the moment into this time of learning. There's 5 turns left of it until it starts going down. Our scout teams have found a stockpile near Moser Farm in the zone Richter Snow. 304 credits. Right, that's great. And another 174 credits have been found in ancient storage. So we've got loads of money. This is good. This is a nice little start for us. This is a message just telling us that we probably should raise some troops. So, at the start of the game, you're a little bit limited with what you can buy, and we have these resources here. Just quickly, we've got food, which feeds your troops. We've got water, which grows your food. We've got oil, which drives your war machines. We've got ammunition, which shoots out of your guns and hits centipede eaters in the head. You've got metals. You've got industry points. This is a key important resource. Industry points, as it says, is the key to producing almost anything, and this kind of represents your factories, whether it's literal factories that you've got, or kind of your people banding together in some kind of cottage industry to kind of create the things that you need for your regime, that kind of stuff. It's all abstracted off into this industry points. This is the thing that we want to get up. In order to increase our industry points, we need to build a building called Industry 1. Now, Industry 1 is quite expensive to build with regards to the resources that it requires. We need 1,000 workers, we need some heavy machinery, we need 500 metals, and we need 80 industrial points, but we need that for 3 rounds, so each round is going to take this amount. So we need a significant investment of metal particularly, and we need to get some we need to find some machines. So we can't begin that construction yet. First thing we need to do is find some metal, and metal will appear on our map as we prospect it using our economic council. Just to go through the rest of it quickly, we've got energy, which powers everything. And energy is probably what we need to race to find before we grow our cities too big. There's radioactives, which we haven't found yet. This is manpower or recruits. So these are what you use to raise new troops. They are grown in your cities, and you can set the amounts that come to every turn, which will affect the population in the city. So we don't want to be taking too many from them at the start. Next we have colonists, which is we use to found new cities and to transfer populations between different zones. That will come later. We've got exotic metals. We've got machines, which are used to build certain advanced equipment and buildings. And then we've got high-tech parts. Excuse me, I have an exceptionally itchy nose. Okay, high-tech parts which you use later in the game for more advanced weapon systems and units. So let's start moving out again. Before we do, though, yeah, we have something that we want to head towards here. This exotic house. First of all, let's go to our decisions. So every turn we've got these decisions to do. So the militia parade. The militia paraded through the streets. We were present, and it's customary for us to give the militia extra money for the work that they do. So because this is good, okay, we can get a big boost to our militia here. Now, the more the militia feel, the better the militia are, the more they feel about you, the happier, the more they will raise their own units to actually fight for you. And at the start, we don't have our own. We haven't got any regular troops, so we rely on the militia. We can choose to give them 200 or 600 credits. 600 is a lot, and it will give us a bigger bonus to the people who like it. However, this guy who is the commander of my strategic HQ doesn't like that, and it's going to be a huge penalty. We're going to lose 33 loyalty, and we don't want to do that. He's a faction leader of the Reformist Army, which, if I remember right, let's just go into our factions. Yeah, that was the leading party. So we don't want to upset Pax John Dark right now. So I think for this one, we're just going to we'll go for the 200 credits. I can afford that. That's no problem. Dissatisfied elements in Jura Republic. So this is one of our neighbours. Apparently there's growing dissatisfaction inside Jura Republic. Their king seems to be bordering to the insane. We are in contact with a mysterious opposition leader calling himself Don Diego. He says that if we can't just give him if we can give him just a little support and a promise to invade, then he can organise a fifth column of rebels to rise up and help us win a swift victory. Do we want to do this or not? Well, we can pay 250 credits and we get a bonus to democracy and heart. Or we can say no and we can boost government and fist. I wonder. We've got the money. The money's not a problem because we got those wonderful events over the turn. At the end of the last turn. I'm going to go for it. Yeah. Okay, so we publicly supported the rebels' cause and promised them a swift victory. We're going that way anyway. Okay, so now we've got a national budget allocation. This is for the Economic Council and the Supreme Council. Now, I want to put as much into Economic Council as possible at the start. Although political points are important, we really need to rush our research. So this is going to really upset our secretary, and they were never going to recover from it. In fact, I wonder if it might be better not to do it so drastically to start off with. I'll just balance it out.
Roger that.
Yeah, that was just 14. If I'd have gone up to 66, it would have been more nearer to 30, I think. 2 more decisions. So we've got to pick a director for the Economic Council. We've got this Lyra Ironsight, who's only suitability 4. She's got a higher combat rating, a command rating, which means a higher war and good strength. This is going to be better in one of our armies. This person, she's going to be better leading one of our armies. So let's see if we can play a strategic card now. A stratagem, sorry. We might have a stratagem for a new leader. There we go. Recruit a junior leader, young but relatively unskilled. So these stratagems are things that you can play each turn in order to get yourself a certain bonus. In this case, this is how we add another leader to our faction. We don't get to choose who they are. They could be good or bad, and it costs 8 political points. So we're gonna run that now.
Roger that.
So we've got a new leader in our reserve pool. This person was Chip Redrock and is exactly the same. There's another. He looks like another person who'll be better leading our forces. So for the time being, let's go with Lyra Ironsight. Mind you, we do have one more card. But do we want to spend the political points, I wonder? You see, this game throws some cool decisions at you, and they are meaningful as well. At the moment, we're not seeing any particular big penalties to the way these guys are feeling about the decisions we're making, but they do get really, really serious. To an annoying level to some point, but we'll discover that as we come across. Okay, so the other decision we need is just to set the Economic Council task priorities. They're split between discovery, research. Discovery is discovering the things that you want to research, and then research is actually the process of breaking through to that research, so you actually get it. So we want to put more into discovery at the start because we need to find power plants or solar panels as quickly as possible. I think we'll put less priority into. We also want prospecting because we desperately need to find some metal. Economic policies. That's not so important right now, and research is not quite so important. Once the discovery team have found something that we can research, then the actual research team will use these funds in order to research that thing. But it's the discovery that's important and the prospecting that we want. So let's just confirm that. Okay, I am going to play this other strat card and try and see if we can get just one more leader who might be a little bit more suitable for this job. It's Chunk Ether River. No, it's still not good. Although this person might be better. What we want is a technical rating here, because technical science is what we want to be improving. So kind of, you know, they're just a capacity class 1. We'll just put them in there temporarily. I think we're going to have to put her in there temporarily. Actually, she's got no technical rating. I might put him in. Yeah, at least he's kind of low ambition. Let's just put this person in for now. It doesn't matter a huge amount. Giving him a post gives him a boost to his relationship with us, so he's happy that we've given him a job, and it's a fairly senior appointment. So the other leaders are going to be happy with that too. Okay, so that's the decisions out of the way. There aren't usually that many to make in a turn. There's usually sort of anywhere between 0 and 2, 3. On the odd turn, when you've discovered a new council or you've just taken a province, you might have to make maybe 5 or 6. But okay, we want to continue. Right, we need to invade this territory here. So this is, oh, that's not the one. Jura, it's this one. Oh, I see. So there's actually a border here. This is one minor faction territory, and this is another here. In fact, that's Montador. Oh, there's 3. Oh, wow. Okay, so we want to be going north. This is Jura territory in the north. So I'm going to go and take this, and then these guys are going to have to move back into... Oh, no, they're okay there for the moment. I'll move here so they're closer to the supply source. I'm going to... Hold on. Yeah, I'll move this way. And we've got two settlements in the north. We want to keep out these mountains, really, although eventually we will have to go in there and take them. I'm going to go and take this exotic house now. Oh, we found a lava river, and there's also some ruins here. Let's go and grab those. Ruins are great because they're a little bit like the goody huts that you get in Civilization. You can often find interesting things. That's where we got that money from last time in this in that first turn. They would have come from these ruins here probably, and maybe from some of the other hexes. I think that's how it works. Okay, so this exotic house is an asset, and this one's a luxury brothel. So this is a place that you can send your leaders when they want a bit of fun time with the ladies, and if we've got this connected to our city zone, we get extra morale growth basically. So that's great. It increases the morale for our soldiers. We can give them a little bit of R&R time and some in the arms of beautiful ladies. Let's send these militia out this direction, just to start taking this territory. We don't want to care too much about the borders of our enemies. We don't want to be at war with everyone at once at this stage. However, they're not probably going to invade us that quick. And also, the raiders, whilst they can be formidable if you're facing a fair amount of them at the same time, we have got the capabilities and the resources to be able to raise some formations of regular troops, which is what we should be doing now, because we've made a promise. We go to this demands. You promised that war would be declared on Jura Republic. Deadline round 14, so we've got 12 rounds left. If you hover over here, this tells you what round you're on. So every time that you these decisions will often translate into, they're like a quest that you have to succeed at. If you succeed, you will get a bonus, usually in the form of respect from the people, in a loyalty bonus from the people who have given you that quest. If you fail it, you'll get a big penalty. There's also, if we go to our Empire dashboard, you've got this word score. Now, this is your word, whether your word means anything or not. You know, whether you've been keeping your promises or whether you've been lying through your teeth. And as you can see, the tooltip says your word score helps you to make believable promises. So you're going to be much more successful with diplomacy and the way that you deal with your leaders around you and, you know, the other factions if you've got a stronger word score. So we want to complete this mission. This will be an easy mission to complete because they are going to go to war with us when we start taking too much of their territory. With that in mind, we want to raise now some formations. We want to raise some regular troops because the militia are just not as effective. Let's just have a look at this. The 5th Richter Snow Guard Battalion, 500 rifle militia. They've just got low-tech weaponry and improvised environmental suits. They're really weak. And then they've got some machine guns, which are quite strong in defense against other infantry, but other than that, they're relatively useless. Infantry also get a 50% penalty to all their attack rolls, if I remember right. So they're really best used in defense anyway. So we need to build some more troops. That would help us with expanding our territory out. I probably want to start bringing, kind of getting this area now. We only want to take what we can hold. That being said, perhaps, at least with what I've been playing so far and my experiences, I think it's important to try to rush and take as much territory as you can in the early game. Very much like some of the older 4X games in that regard. Okay. We're going to use some of these resources we've got in order to raise ourselves a formation. Now, formations are, you can either build a multi-unit formation, which comes with a HQ, and you get usually 5. It looks like 5 battalions and a HQ unit, so you kind of get 6 units for each one of these, and they're split into 3 different sizes: brigades, corps, or armies. And as you can see, the number of troops in each category goes up drastically. So a brigade of light infantry has 5,500 men, infantrymen. A corps has 19,000, and an army goes up to 62,000. So you can see that you can really play with some big numbers in this game. Have some absolutely epic battles. We can also raise independent units. Now, the independent units are, for example, an independent infantry battalion is just one unit, one battalion, with 1,000 men in. So at the start, we could raise a light infantry brigade. We can only have the resources for 64% of them. That's enough. If we can raise more than 50%, we can actually raise it. They will be under strength, but we can gradually top their strength up. Now, because these men are much stronger than the militia, this is quite a good plan. It's tempting to do it next turn, but I think the quicker we do it, the better. So I'm actually going to find a place that they can go. We want to go as close to Jura as possible, and then we're going to raise the formation. Now we are raising slightly less because we're trying to raise them further along the logistics path. So I think I'm going to put them. I might just put them directly. Yeah, I might put them just directly in the city and march them up myself. Need to think whether this is worth it or not. Yeah, it's 59. It's not going to make a big difference. Let's just put them here. So here we get the opportunity to raise a formation. It tells you all the costs that are involved from all your different resources. You can set them as a certain quality. We'll look at that in a bit. That's not really relevant at the moment. So let's just click raise formation. There we go. Now they've arrived in our main city of Richter Snow. They're unavailable to use until next turn. So next turn we'll be able to start moving them out and using them. You'll notice that actually each one of these units has a maximum of 1,000 GIs. At the moment we've only got 600 in each because we raised them at under strength. That doesn't matter at the moment. We can actually build replacement troops, sorry, at our HQ, and then our SHQ commander will send them out every turn and replenish them in the field, providing that they're close enough to one of these logistics points. Such a great game. It's just so it's so wonderfully detailed, and it works just like those old war simulation games, except it's just so much better. I love it. I love this game. Right, so there's not much more we can do on this turn. We could perhaps start building something. The first thing we really need to get up, we're going to start running out of food. So we probably will need a dome of some kind, one of these agriculture domes. However, they do cost a lot of metal. And once our economic team start doing the prospecting, we might come across some sources of metal. So let's hold out for that for the time being. Round 3. Again, we just get this this reminder of where we're at in the epoch, in this time of learning. We're getting extra research bonus points, which is really great. Okay, our scav teams found a stockpile near Exotic House, 280 credits. Well, man, that's probably all those prostitutes' earnings they've been stashing away. How mean. Your organization factions generated 3 new stratagems. And this is our secretary just telling us how many hexes we're controlling. So we want to control, he's just reminding us of our mission to conquer the whole planet. And a reminder to start making some metal, and a reminder that we've got a promise to invade Jura Republic. This is also Jura Republic, and so is this. So what would be wise now would be to we don't have any covert ops cards. If we had a stratagem for spies, we could send spies into their nation and pinpoint where their cities are and their units. Like everything else in this game, the way that spying works is just so cool. It's just, whereas in other games, let's take something like I don't know, let's say Master of Orion, yeah, where you had your spies and you set them a budget, and then each turn you'd get an opportunity to steal technology or that kind of thing, and you could kind of spam it out. Now, Master of Orion's great because there's ways to stop that, but other 4Xs, not always, and this game stops you from I mean, diplomacy and espionage and those kind of mechanics in 4X can often become a bit of a problem because if they're too powerful, if they're too detailed so that they're interesting, they're often easily exploitable, and the AI not only doesn't know how to use it properly itself, but the human player can kind of get it to do things that really break the game in certain ways. Like the classic one was in Master of Orion, where you could get the AIs just to declare war on one another, right? And you could just keep spamming that out to leverage your vote, your Galactic Council votes, that kind of thing. Get yourself out of sticky situations. You can't do that in this because the way that you get these spies is you have to pump your bureaucracy points, which I've not discussed yet, but you have bureaucracy points which go into all your research and all your to creating all your stratagems. You have to direct them in the right place to the right council. Set the amount of their budget that you want to go into that particular strategy generation of those strategy cards, and then there's a random element, so you might not necessarily get the card you want. Now, basic things like spies come quite often, so you don't have to worry about that too much. However, it stops you just spamming out these kind of espionage or specific diplomatic requests or that kind of thing. It's a really clever system. I can't praise it enough. Okay, so we want to move north into Jura. Now, as you can see, we're getting to the limit of where our supply trucks can deliver our supplies to. So when we cross this road, have you noticed that the game is clever and it figures out the quickest route with regards to action points? It's actually quicker for us to go across here and then over this bridge than it is to cross the Magma River ourselves. So let's just go. We can move to here without being out of supply. Next turn, moving into here, although our truck, if we just click on this little button here, it shows us the supply it's got. So we've got everything we want. We've got all the troops we need. We've got all the fuel we need and the food. Sorry, this is our stocks here. We've got all the fuel, food, ammo that we need, right? If we move beyond this, we're going to be out of supply in a few turns. Now, first they will start using their stocks. And after their stocks have run out, they're going to start relying on what they can get by sending their own little transports back to the last place on the logistics track. So these little numbers here on this green line, these tell you how many logistical points are available at each one of these positions, and each of your units has it has about 100 action points worth of its own organic logistics, which means, yeah, like they'll send their own trucks to go and pick up from the nearest supply point. So we look, if you notice here, normally we'd be able to go a few. Let's have a look here. For example, oh, we found metal. Here is metal. Excellent news. So let's look at the 4th Richter Snow Mobile Regiment. These guys are 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. They're 4 hexes away. They're actually 60 action points away from the nearest logistic points, but they're still in supply. They can get all the supply they want if they're sat here. If we move to the next square, however, they're going to be a little bit further, so they're going to have to go further in order to go and get this supply. Their trucks are going further, so they're having to use some of the supply they're picking up in order to fuel their delivery trucks. So this is why it diminishes the further out you go from your territory. So this is great. It puts a limitation on how far you can go from your own roads, which means we can go and explore further up in this direction, but we need to be a little bit careful now. I don't want to be out of supply. The reason why I don't want to be out of supply is when we do inevitably run across somebody who's going to attack us, we don't want to have we want to have ammo and fuel. So we moved into these low mountains just to take some more of this territory here, and I'm going to head these guys up. This militia unit here can just expand further out, just trying to make our territory as big as possible. We're fortunate that we're near roads. We had roads going off all these directions, so you'll see why it was that I followed the roads here. Our logistics trucks are being able to supply us all the way down this direction. I'd like to get this, but we can't move any further into those mountains. Probably wasn't smart for me to move through those mountains there. I should have gone round, but never mind. It's no problem. Okay, so we've moved all our militia units. Now we've got this this brigade that we created. If you remember, they're under strength. However, we can start to replenish them. We need to create 2,000 men in order to fully replace them. Now we can only create 5. Now the reason for that is the total cost is 15. Oh, it's because we don't have enough recruits. So let's just leave that for the time being. We don't. We need to wait until we've got more men. Richter Snow is a big town, and it's not getting men. It's not bringing population in and growing population very quickly. So yeah, we need to be a little bit cautious with how we're recruiting units. However, one thing that might be really important for us to get is some recon. Ideally you want motorbikes for those, but we won't have them at the moment, so we want buggies instead. And look, yes, we can fully support 50 buggies. Now these are really good, and we can put them straight there. So let's raise this. We'll just bring them. No, if I can, I'm gonna raise them a little bit further. Yeah, we've still got the logistics points to be able to do this. Oh, hang on a minute. Now this is important too. If we use a strategic move, for example, look, we can move this infantry unit along the roads using our trucks. It will diminish each of these individual values that are available at these logistics points here. So you can because there's only a certain amount of trucks that can be used each turn to do certain jobs. Now you can actually set the amount. There's a way that you can set the amount of the percentages of your trucks that are doing each particular job, like supplying fuel and food or transporting troops strategically. At the moment, I don't want to be doing that because it's important that we get supply to these troops out here. So we're just going to we'll just move them in a standard fashion, and I want to start moving them. I'm going to bring these guys up this way and follow up this direction. To facilitate this, we'll ring this. This is a HQ unit. Now this HQ unit doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't have anyone attached to it yet, which is probably something that we're going to get with one of these decisions. That's right. So first we want to appoint a commander. So we've got these 2 commanders, Chip Redrock and Lyra Ironsight. And the suitability rating for Lyra Ironsight is higher. That's because she's got some combat-related skills. all of these skills will affect certain things in combat. I won't go through them more now, but let's assign her. She's more suitable, so we want her. Welcome to your new job, and I'm sorry about your boss. Okay, so now that person is part of this. Let's have a look. A part of that combat unit we've just created. Excuse me. And we're going to move all these guys all in the same direction, because I kind of want to take this area as quickly as possible. We'll leave our militia units to pick up the rest of what we've got here. A military genius in the 3rd Light Infantry Battalion. Okay, so there's a soldier we want to promote. How do we promote him? Do we make him a claymore expert and get enforcement, or military intelligence, which gives us meritocracy? Okay, so let's look at what we want in our regime profile. It might be worth raising meritocracy. Let's get meritocracy up. There we go. And now meritocracy is actually overtaken autocracy. That's no problem for us. And Lozeraria demands regular relations. Okay, so this is... We've been pushing out into the borders of one of these nations. Which one is it? Oh, we can look at the strategic map. So here's a strategic map, and we can actually look at... We can click on these zones, and it will tell us who owns them. Or we can look for the name of who we're looking for. So Lozeraria is here. So they're upset with us. Let's just click go there to go there. They're upset with us because we started moving into their territory. They want us to respect their borders. For the time being, I'm going to say yes. This will make them a little bit happier, and it will conveniently boost our mind in the psychology realm as well. So because mind's good, because we're going to get more. If we just look at the proficiencies, once we get technology fascination and curiosity, this means that it will boost our research and make our research quicker, and that's what we want. So yeah, let's go with that one. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, we'll respect your borders for now. Okay. Finally, we want to build those buggies that I was talking about. So let's... I'm going to build them here. They're fast enough to be able to catch up later. And I don't want to be using our strategic points. Our logistic points. So we're going to build 50 crossbillies. There they are. We could also possibly... Oh, no, we can't build any more. That's it. We've actually exhausted all of the men that we've got. So we need to start... We need to start building more troops. So raising some more troops from the population. Okay. And that is the end of that turn, guys. So I'm going to call the episode quits here. Hope you're enjoying the series. Please give me feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. See you later, guys. Take care. Bye.